It's Winnie, not Vince.
Hey girl,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good.
Give me like 5 seconds. I'm on my last sentence of this note.
No. I'm gonna mute and stop video for now. I just wanted to be on before everybody else.
Cool. I was an early bird.
I'm gonna still walk around and get my coffee.
You good, girl. I'm writing handwritten notes, so.
Cool.
That's why it's cheaper. The fruits and stuff are. The meats is not.
Hi.
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 Okay, we're just gonna wait a couple minutes to get started. Jay, I'm gonna go back and reread your question.
Hello.
What's up, Winnie?
Hi,
How you doing?
good, how are you?
Good.
I miss your face, getting well.
Nice to see you finally working.
I lost you. I'm sorry. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm still learning this Zoom thing. I'm still it's kind of a work in progress.
Well, just so that you know, there's two different ways to view Zoom. You can view it as
Okay.
gallery Zoom. So if you hover in the top right corner, it'll be gallery view or speaker view. So it'll be like whoever's talking will pop up versus
Okay.
just being able to see everybody. During this, I'm going to be like mostly sharing screen though,
Okay.
just so that y'all know.
I got it. Thank you.
So let me just review one quick thing. And then I will get started. There it is. Okay. Okay. All right. So welcome to Facebook campaigns. Woohoo, yay. So just remember to mute yourself if you have background noise, unmute yourself if you have questions. Feel free to use the chat box in the bottom. Sarah, I got your message. Sounds good. The way that I'm going to lead this, I'm going to make the assumption that everyone has at least looked at campaigns, checked it out, maybe even run an ad. I'd rather kind of start at like a bigger level, and then if you need to pop off, then, you know, if I'm starting to get more simplified, then pop off later. Or if you need a little bit more help, maybe during the second half, we can go into other details. So Clay, can you mute your audio, please? And then
I was muted. I'll mute again.
Clay, can you mute your audio?
I was muted. Is it not showing up that way?
No, it's still showing up as though you're on there. Well, I'm going to share the screen anyway, so it probably won't matter. All right. Okay, the first thing, so some of the things I want to talk about today in terms of your Facebook ad campaigns, we're not necessarily going to run through the whole process, but I might do that towards the second half. But I want to talk about messaging and like ad copy and what is working right now. And then I will go through afterwards posting a video. So we're going to talk about messaging, what's working, and then we are going to run through an ad campaign of posting a neighborhood snap video. So you can post any other video, it's just, you know, Command creates those for us. So does that sound good? Everybody give me a thumbs up. Cool. Okay, and everybody can see my screen right now, so you can see my Park Circle post. So let's talk real quick about messaging first. Some of the important things, hopefully this will pop up, is you need to have what's called a call to action. So a CTA. The call to action, I love how I got one sad face. Do you see this one sad face right here? I was like, you, Cindy. But at the bottom, you can see my call to action is click learn more for this and all other Park Circle homes, search all Park Circle homes. So even though this was about a listing, the call to action was learn more about Park Circle homes in general. And we all know that Park Circle is like a hot spot. So one of the other things, so think about some other, and I'd love for people to just like shout out some other calls to action. They need to be very quick, like 4 or 5 words, you know, something like that. So does anybody else have any other calls to action that you're trying to accomplish?
Learn more.
Learn more, love it.
Get your free home value report.
Get your free home value, cool.
Sign up now. Are they allowing sign up now?
You can do a sign up now. One of the things, so there are some best practices that we've seen so far. So I want to go over some of those. One of those is in the learn more, you can see this little learn more button right here. Everybody can see it. There are 3 options. It's sign up, something else, and learn more. Learn more always works better. So if you can somehow gear, you know, your messaging so that learn more makes sense as the button, I would highly recommend that. For whatever reason, that is like less obtrusive than sign up. That means that if somebody clicks on sign up, that means that they're giving you something. Or if somebody clicks on learn more, that means I'm giving them something. So think about it as like, who is exchanging the information here? So we're providing value by them clicking, right? So the other thing that's important in terms of this ad copy, you can see all of it on a couple of lines. And you don't have to use long drawn out sentences. I would highly recommend not even using jargon at all. I would recommend using your voice, cool language, fun stuff, emojis definitely, because it breaks up the eye. And I do like using dashes sometimes as well because it breaks up the eye. So for this, I could have started out with cute brick ranch with a large fenced-in yard. Who cares? But this is true Park Circle living. That's what people in Park Circle want. They want to be in the thick of things, right? So think about your messaging. You know, if I lived in, say, Westcott or whatever neighborhood that you're like rocking this for, what is the thing? Like if you want to go to, if you lived in Park Circle, you would want to go be able to walk to the amazing restaurants and bars, right? That's the only thing I would care about if I lived in Park Circle, is if I could walk or bike to Montague. So for each of your listings, think about what is the coolest part about it. It isn't this house. Like this house has a huge yard, but it's not the house. It's about the neighborhood. Now it could be about something about the house based on your, based on the listing that you advertise. So any questions about that and kind of like writing some ad copy? So I would really start this off, you know, kind of put your journalist hat on. What is that big headline, you know, that's just like the most exciting thing about it, and start that, oh, Greg, that happens automatically somewhere else. So anywho, so the other thing that I do want you guys to notice, this is an advanced thing that I'm willing to help you guys with, but you'll notice that I actually have a page created called Park Circle Living. What I have found is that if your Facebook page is Winnie Timmons Realtor with a picture of you, you are not going to get the traction. You are not. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have one that is your cute little face for brand awareness. Like you guys know, you know, red hair, glasses, this is important, right? So, but in order to get strangers who don't give two you-know-whats about me to actually think that this has value, it needs to be coming from a generic, more businessy place. So you'll notice that I used my Park Circle Living page. I also recommend even just like Low Country Homes, or just like something like pretty generic that doesn't have your name on it or your face as the icon. That is like an advanced kind of a thing. And like I said, we can talk about that another time. So those are sort of two of the best practices for that. The other thing is this one had, it's already been updated that Facebook only wants you to do, or is only offering a carousel, which carousels don't perform as well because nobody's going to look at these other things. And let's be real, like that's a cool photo. I really think that adding a picture of the neighborhood or like the neighborhood amenities as the other photo, maybe one of the house and one of the amenities, or something like this. Like this is a picture, you know, of Dig in Park Circle. So those would be the two things that I would choose, would be the best picture of the home, whatever that is, and then one picture that kind of encapsulates like why this area is so cool. What that might mean is that you have to Google a photo, take a photo, but Google a photo and then upload it yourself versus just using the listing photos, which of course Command uploads all the listing photos for you when you do a campaign. So that's just an extra added thing, and it's really helpful. For me, I had actually put this in my listing photo because I wanted people to see like, hey, Park Circle is super close. So also, I do think that it's important whenever you are marketing a listing that it's a cute house, you know, like why would somebody even want to see it? You know, like it has a cute yellow door, or it has a pretty American flag out front, or whatever it is. Like make sure that, you know, that it is a cute house. Just like when you choose an open house, you're not going to choose like an as is hoarder house to sit at an open house. You're going to choose a cute home. Okay, so in the carousel, once again, you're going to choose 2 images when you're doing a listing. Now let's talk about what's working. And I would love to open this up. So I'm going to actually stop the share for right this moment and go to gallery view because I'd like to see everybody's faces for this part. But for those of you that have run an ad, what is working, what is not working, and let's kind of chat about that for the next few minutes. Go on. B, do you want to unmute? Yeah, everybody can unmute now.
Hey, y'all. Hello, Mr. Brown. So I ran, with the help of wonderful Winnie, I ran my first Facebook ad. It started Monday, I think. And I now have 7 leads from it. Don't get all excited. 3 of them have disconnected phone numbers.
Oh yeah, they do.
Right. I've reached out to everybody. I haven't had any response. The ones with the disconnected phone numbers, of course, I sent them an email. And, you know, I'm very excited about this because it only takes 1. I just need 1 to really be a good lead for my $30, then it'll be worth it. And it runs for another today and 3 more days. But it's very exciting. It's wonderful in Command to wake up every day and click the button and see who else has looked at it. What I don't understand, Winnie, and maybe you can help me with this, I would like to actually see the ad in social media. So I went to Realtor.com. It's running on Realtor.com, Trulia, and what's that one with the Z? You know, there's other people.
Let me explain that real quick. It's not running on those websites. It's running on Facebook for people that already like those Facebook pages. Does that make sense?
Ooh. So I should go like all 3 of those pages and see if it pops up.
Sure, but there's a preview on Command so that you can see what it looks like.
I did not know that.
Okay.
So
We also were on a call yesterday, and they said most likely you're never going to see your own sponsored ad if you're doing it correctly.
Right, you shouldn't. That's a waste of money, unfortunately. Because you could see it more than once and then you're paying, you know, a penny, or whatever it is.
Gotcha.
Anybody else? I know Jay has run some ads. Jessica, would love to hear from you guys.
I did the training class that Vince did, and I ran a listing. It already sold. It's under contract, but I tried grabbing people that might want to list with me. So I did like under contract in one day, and ran it that way. And I did $30 and ran it for 5 days, and I got a total of 18 leads from it.
Wow.
What a great
Ah.
idea.
That's awesome.
That's some really powerful messaging too. So in terms of, you know, getting really good copy, at this point, all of the sources are saying that the best practice in order to like actually get response is to share a listing. And so whether it's contingent or not kind of doesn't matter, but this is a really great other way to message that, and also to market to sellers, which statistically speaking, marketing listings to buyers is getting buyer leads. That's what's happening the best right now in Command. Was that sentence clear enough? So, so that is what is working, is like just that. So anybody else? Jay, you've run some stuff.
Yeah, I've done 2 attempts at a CMA ad. The first one was a complete flop. It got 120 impressions in 2 days, and then it didn't do anything after that.
Okay.
But I had done it differently than Vince had talked about the other day. In
Okay,
that
good.
I did not use the Facebook oriented hit. Like I directed it immediately to a Google form where I was asking them to give me their information and the address that they would like a CMA for. So the 2 things I changed between the failure and the one that's active right now is that I did it Vince's way for the Facebook landing spot. And then I took out a lot of the, I'm going to call them meta tags for lack of a better word, because I had gone through and selected like 30 of them. Like, yeah, if they're looking at this, then they should probably want to see what I'm saying. And
Sure.
I tried to be smarter than the system, which I'm not smarter than many things, including a system. So,
And certainly Facebook, I don't think any of us are smarter than Facebook. That is
right. So now it's active. I've gotten 1,170 impressions, 20 clicks, but 0 leads. And I have to wonder if part of that is just that a Google form is not that professional looking. And I don't know. That's my only speculation right now.
Yeah, so it could be your messaging as well. So keep that in mind. If the language isn't, you know, like if the language, the ad copy itself might not be working. Also, so the best practice I believe is about 4 max in terms of the tags. So the interests, that's what they're called in Facebook. So if you just add up to 4. So, you know, if you're looking for somebody that might be buying, that they might be interested in Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com. For whatever reason, Redfin doesn't come up, and I don't on mine, and I don't know what the heck that's about. But you also, maybe you would take away Trulia, and there's something in there that's like first-time home buyers. So keep in mind, you know, just try to keep it to a maximum of 4, and make sure that whenever you're doing that, you're doing or. Never do the and button afterwards, because but most people aren't going to like all 4 of these different things. Like that'd be a really small boundary there. So, and I do want to talk about impressions versus leads. So in general, like the goal, is to get leads. The goal is to get leads right now. If you want to increase your brand awareness, like your cute little picture, you know, and your vibe and your niche market, then you do want to go with impressions. If you just want your face or your brand to just pop up in front of as many people as possible, it's not a lead thing, then you are going to shoot for impressions. But otherwise, we're going to shoot for leads, which is why what Jay was saying, you want to make sure, and we'll go through this when we run through an ad, but that you're making sure that you're using that Facebook lead form. Cool.
I have a quick question. Or rather comment, I guess. Jay, when you ran your ad, I kind of stepped away, but when you ran your ad, what did you select as the first piece to the puzzle? Like when you named your campaign, what did you select? Like advertised listing, brand awareness, what did you select?
Attract listings.
Okay, cool. Because what they're seeing, those are all algorithms on the back end. And like, for example, if you put brand awareness, that's why I was asking, you won't get any leads because they're put out to individuals that are scrolling the most, but not that click. But if you do attract listings or advertise listings specifically, then that ad is actually put out in front of people that have clicked on ads before. And as compared to people that are just scrolling. So there's all kinds of algorithms on the back end that we have to, as we're learning, we just have to, like, it's a trial and error kind of thing. Like I ran an ad of Keller Mortgage, and Keller Mortgage, and it got no clicks, and there was a couple of different reasons, or no leads, and there were a few different reasons as to why it got no leads. And also from a targeting perspective, I just ran, I advertised the listing, and I didn't use any of the targeting. I let Facebook do its own thing, and I've gotten more leads on that than I have when I targeted and maybe went too specific. So they're all different. It's all algorithms that we're playing on the back end. And then to make one more point about the B, you were talking about the leads, and don't get too crazy. I got a lot of leads, but some of them were bad numbers, and that's all the game. But what I will say to that is the email, because their email is probably good. And if the email is good, then continuing to put them on a bi-weekly or neighborhood nurture is something you should do, because you're still getting out to them, and it's a numbers game. Like
it becomes about brand awareness at that point.
Right, absolutely. And cost per lead. We won't need to accrue 50 leads for the lowest amount of money that we can, and put them on a 12 direct plan at the very least to get one deal. So it becomes a game of how low can I get this lead spend, and how fast can I get to 50, so that I can market to them, put them on a neighborhood nurture, and convert them to a contact as compared to just a lead, a one-way conversation. So take a one-way conversation to a two-way conversation. And how does that look, and how fast can I do it? Right. So I hope that helps a little bit, but.
It does. Am I muted? So for a neighborhood nurture, for these leads, we don't get their home addresses here, which wouldn't it be great to get their home addresses here? So we don't do that. Of course, we do have their area codes. We can figure out what state they live in. But for these type of leads that we don't.
Well, and we have a listing that they're interested in. So they are interested in, say, West Ashley.
That would be the neighborhood.
Or that neighborhood. So say, for instance, your listing is in Shadow Moss or whatever, then I would put them on the Shadow Moss neighborhood nurture. And that's once again why I do think that it can be a little important to be a little bit choosy about your listing, to make sure that it is like an area that is marketable. So, okay. So I'm going to go through and put together an ad, and I'm going to run through this kind of fast. But I do want people to kind of stop me as we're going through here. So someone asked posting about a neighborhood. Actually, it was B that asked about posting about a neighborhood. So when you go to campaigns, which is the little foghorn thing on the left-hand side, you're going to click create a new campaign. And this is a paid social ad. I'm just going to run through this, you guys. So one thing that's incredibly important is how you name your campaign. You can't just say Facebook ad or Park Circle listing. You need to be hyper specific, because this is the only way that you're going to know what ad this is actually coming in from. So right now I'm going to do a Cameron Terrace video. And then for me personally, because I'm a geek, I like to do when I actually sent this out. So I'm going to do a date in there. So it isn't really any of these things because it's more attracting, it's advertising a listing. This is a neighborhood snap. So it isn't exactly any of these things, but I'm going to say advertise listing because that is the one that has been most effective so far. And I'm more of a Facebook person, so I'm just going to go for it here. Oh, it's going to require me to do a listing. Let's see. Hopefully it'll let me not do a listing. Okay. So here's our ad text. I'm going to go back to that in a second, and I'm going to hope that it will let me upload a video instead. So I already have my neighborhood video. I already created one, actually, called Cameron Terrace. Okay. So here I've uploaded this video. So this is in the add media section, continue with video. So this is what it looks like so far. You can see on the right-hand side what we're going at here. Okay, once again, I'm not adding a listing. Hopefully it's gonna let me continue this way. But I can always fudge that. So add text. So this is where like you need to get creative. Something about like want to know so any suggestions here too. So what I'm writing is want to know what's going on in Park Circle. Check what is just listed, just sold, average home price. So now that I have this in here, we have to add emojis because this is just ridiculous without it, I think. So for Park Circle, I'm totally gonna do, let's see, I'm gonna do beer. And I'm gonna do something about a park or a tree.
Yeah, they need new tree emojis.
Yeah. So you can just copy and paste those there. And then average home price. So of course I'm gonna do a home. And then I might do something like a money bag or something. So something like this. And you can see on the right what this is like shaping up to look like. Now I'm a weirdo, so I would probably, you know, like I can't have spaces and all that kind of stuff. So here's the headline. You can see right here, this is where this headline comes. So this is where I want you to consider that you're like a newspaper writer. So it's like, and like market update doesn't mean like as much to other people as it does to us. So let's spitball and mastermind. What do you think like other people would call this? It's not a market update. I mean, it is, but who cares? What other suggestions do you guys have for that?
Money, food, and eats at Park Circle.
Yeah, you wanted, one of the things that I had heard prior was you want whatever it is that you're writing. Well, two things. You don't want to bait and switch. You always want to talk to, in the main copy, you want to tell them, you want to hook them, like grab them in, and then tell them what they get when they click, but don't give them what they get until they click and give you the information. And then in the headline, you want to have something that really grabs their attention, like Park Circle real estate stats might do it. But something that, right, something that's kind of, I can't think of something for Park Circle, like what you're actually branding, but best spots in Park Circle, find the best spots in Park Circle, all your info at Park Circle or something along those lines. I don't know.
Life
Yeah.
and fun at Park Circle.
This is where like I get in my head about it, but like it's like Park Circle is the best, something like that.
I mean,
So-
like, could you even go simple into something like just Park Circle Homes or Park Circle Real Estate?
What's it like to live in Park Circle?
Park Circle Living.
Well, and that's what my web page is called. So
Don't miss out.
so that's really good, Vince. So creating that urgency, you know, that like scarcity. So learn more about the best neighborhood in Charleston, because, you know, for some people it is. So we're going to save that ad text, Facebook ad. So I have multiple pages here. Here's Park Circle. So this is where we were talking about before, the destination. It has to be this lead gen form here. And then you're gonna learn more. Okay, so here's the things. Apply now means that somebody's giving something to you. Sign up means that somebody's giving something to you, and learn more means that you are offering something to them. So I really do think that we should focus on learn more. The follow-up destination. So I actually already have a Cameron Terrace Oak Park snap ready to go. So after they click the ad, they're gonna go on the Facebook lead gen form. And then after the Facebook lead gen form, it is going to go to the follow-up destination of my Cameron Terrace area. Okay, so here's ad targeting. The least amount of ad targeting you are allowed to do is 15 miles. This is something that you guys need to check based on your ads. So this, you know, it'll be like city center of North Charleston. And so I think you can do like a map, like a Google map, to figure out like where is city center. And then beyond that. So for me, I do think that North Charleston is what I want, because I also want, you know, potentially I'm going to see people that maybe live in North Charleston, or, you know, it'll be people that live in North Charleston, and they might be wanting to buy, they might be wanting to sell, or they might just be interested in learning more about the Cameron Terrace side of North Charleston. Okay, so here's the targeting. These are the interests that we were talking about. This takes a little bit to load. Okay, so let's see. I think there's one called Home Buyer. First time home buyer grant. So if somebody is interested in our first time home buyer grant, so that's like something that we could do. But I'm also going to go to the old standbys of realtor.com. And don't do the pro version, because only realtors like the pro version. And same with here, Zillow. Don't do the premier version, because only realtors like that version. And you know, I'm making sure that we have this or button here. And the reason I was telling Betsy about this, like the reason we're doing Zillow and realtor.com is to, you know, if somebody else likes those things, we're trying to take their brain and we're trying to like turn their head and be like, wait, look at me. Wait, look at me. Instead of like looking over, you know, at Zillow and those other ones. So you can see here what the audience looks like. You can see that Zillow is clearly the highest one here. And then we're going to save this ad. Now you notice that I still haven't added a listing, so that's really good. And this isn't showing. Learn more about. So you can see over here, and B, this will answer your question here on the Facebook preview. There's the web feed. This is what it looks like on mobile. So this is how you can preview it. Now, one thing that I really do want to suggest that y'all do is create some of your own video content. People do, even though it is a Park Circle Living page, as you can see up here, like it's a generic business page, people are still into the idea of there being a real life person behind it. They just want it to be generic enough so that they don't think that it's one person that's going to snatch at them. even though that literally is exactly what we are. So, all right. So, and then all we have to do now is go down to the budget. See, somebody just chatted. Oh, okay. So Sarah wanted to talk more about this ad destination. So right here, so the destination URL. So Sarah, they're seeing this ad, right? Which is this thing right here. You know, they're seeing this ad, and they're going to click on it. They're going to click Learn More, and it's going to go to a Facebook lead gen form, and their information is automatically populated in that, which is why that is so powerful. And then after they click that form, it's going to automatically redirect them to a follow-up destination. Now, the follow-up destination, if you're doing a single listing, like say, you know, 123 Main Street, then what I would do is I would go on your website, your personal .kw or whatever, kw.com website, and search for that house, and then copy the URL link. And let's see, Sarah, can you give me a thumbs up that you know what I mean when I say copy the URL link?
I definitely do. Can you talk more, like just as you're doing the neighborhood, did you create a neighborhood destination?
I have already done this.
And that's a landing page on your website?
That is correct. It's a landing page. It's not on my website. And that's kind of one of the things about landing pages. They're just kind of a page that is associated with my website, but you couldn't go on my website and find that Cameron Terrace landing page. It's associated with it, but it isn't searchable within it, if that makes sense. So I had already created that. So you can see here, if you click choose site, these are all of my pages, right? So I have a testimonials page on my website. I have, you know, the about me, a general, whatever, download my app page. So I just happened to already have this one done because I have a Park Circle listing. So, and I had already advertised it. So that's the reason that I'm rocking with this one, just for ease of use. But in order to make that, you would go over here on the left and click consumer, and you would make that there. So I would recommend making that in advance. So for instance, in this scenario, make the Cameron Terrace snap, market snap in advance, and then go and make the Cameron Terrace video in advance. And so that's what I did to prepare for this. Does that make sense? Perfect. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to save this, and then you're going to come down here. One of the things right now, everybody is on Facebook. Like all of my posts are getting a gajillion times more interactions, a gajillion times more thumbs ups, more likes, more people looking at my Facebook stories, and that's because everybody's at home. So because of that, I would just say, go bananas. In general, what is important to do is for you to understand your Facebook business page insights to know when your people are on. If your people are only on Monday through Friday and they never go on their Facebook like other times, you know, you can target this based on that. So this is recommending like a 10-day campaign. You can totally do like a Thursday to Tuesday campaign. That's what I ran, was just Thursday to Tuesday. And of course, but you can do anything. Now, just one thing, this is just for a listing. If I were to do a brand awareness campaign where I'm just focusing on impressions, I might run it for 30 days because I just want it just perpetually running until that money runs out. So consider that as an option as well. So you can determine, you know, how many pages. The cool thing is you can put this campaign budget in here, and then when you adjust, like say I wanted to end this day, then it'll say now it's automatically updating this to $5 instead of that $3. So it'll calculate it for you. So I think before it was like somewhere over here, whatever. So then you can just save your duration and budget, and then you would publish the campaign. So I'm not going to publish the campaign because this isn't fully what I'm going for at this point. But does everybody well, I can click this part at least. So you can see that you can have your billing methods already in here. And I would recommend like setting that up in advance as well, so that you don't get here and have to fumble around and find your card. Just have it on lock. So I'm gonna just save this as a draft for now. I might come back and zhuzh it a little bit if I get inspired. And let's see. So does anybody have any questions? I have another kind of topic within this that I wanted to chat about, but I want to, honor everybody's time and make sure that, yes, Weston.
So my question, as far as like pictures, like was on your ad that's live, and video, is there either one of those that is performing better that we should go for? Like, should we go toward video instead of pictures?
Video does outperform photos historically on Facebook.
Okay.
So what I would suggest you doing is perhaps determining, does a video of you versus a cute cartoon video work better? So
or like a video of like, like houses in the neighborhood, like things like that.
Yeah, so kind of, I would play with that in terms of video. I mean, video obviously, can take a little bit longer to do. And so you don't want to get analysis paralysis or anything. But especially if you can just knock something like that out really fast, then go for it. Video always overperforms. But also keep in mind that if there's speaking in it, remember that everybody has their phone on silent constantly. So
yeah. So put like the words at the bottom.
Words in the bottom, or just, just don't have it be something that people need to listen to. Don't have like your face be like, bah, 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 and nothing's going to happen.
Well, you don't think people will turn the audio on if they see you're talking?
Sometimes they will, and sometimes they won't. It depends on if they're really invested in that topic.
And also to a brand. So with one of the things that I heard was every time you'll get more impressions with video. However, you won't necessarily get more leads. So because with the Facebook algorithms, video is pushed out more because there's more engagement with videos. However, it doesn't necessarily always procure more leads. So it's all about what you're trying to do and like, what is your intention? And Winnie, I'm sure, is going to talk about smart plans and the intention behind each smart plan. But I think everything with campaigns and lead generation in general has to have an intention. And then what's your intention? Is it brand awareness? Is it to procure leads? If it's to procure leads, most of the time it's advertising listings, or even the video. I heard even the video that I did the last time at the last training didn't procure a lot of leads for people, and hasn't been successful.
Working.
Yeah.
And so that it's cute.
Yeah, and branding your app, you might not like. People have gotten more success with just sending it out to their sphere than doing a paid ad for, hey, check out this app. So again, it just comes down to what am I trying to do.
Winnie, how you did a Facebook ad for your app, right? How did that go?
I haven't done a Facebook ad for my app.
Oh, you have not? Okay.
That is one that I do want to do, that because there is a video that another agent has put out. And having said that, I might target that directly to my sphere or in my database. So whenever you're in here, you can actually target your database. So let me show you where you can do that. You can target your database instead of let me scooch this. Instead of that, 15-mile radius of North Charleston. So it's under the Facebook ad options. You can target my database. So what you have to do though is create a custom audience, create an audience first. And so, you would tag these people basically.
And you also want to make sure the only way this will work is if you have their Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Their Facebook profile is within your command, so that Facebook and command, because they communicate and scrub And if you don't have everybody in your command that you're targeting their Facebook in your command, it won't work. So be careful.
So maybe we're working our way through command and updating our database and putting tags in and all that stuff. It would behoove us to go to their Facebook page, highlight their, and put it in their, ooh, God.
And that is the only way to get 100% database health score anyway.
100%.
So if that is the goal that you have, that'll be something that you'll want to be doing anyway.
Good to know.
So now what I'd like to switch gears a little bit. So, you know, you get a lead in, cool. Like, what is this gonna look like? Smart plans. And so there is a smart plan out there. You have to manually put it in, but it is, Nick Baldwin, who's Lab Coats Agents dude, he's the one that put this together. So this is what it looks like. I have manually put this in. It took me, I don't know, 20 minutes to manually put this in based around a PDF that he had. So the first one is you send an SMS, which is a text message, and you copy and paste it and it goes in. And then you delay it a day and you send a simple email. So I think that it's important, if you have not taken a class on how to create custom smart plans, that is something that you go ahead and do so that you can serve these people best. And I feel like setting this up like right when you're launching your ad campaign is also really smart. In addition, so I'll go into best practices with this. The best practice is you get a lead in, you need to have notifications turned on, Kelly, on your app, on your phone. If you don't have notifications turned on Kelly, or if you don't have the Kelly app, go ahead and get that and turn on notifications within your Apple settings or your Android settings. So you're going to get that notification. We all know that the speed of the lead, or speed to whatever that phrase is. So you're going to call them immediately. And then I text them right after I call them. And then what I have done is I go in. So when you go in your contacts, everything is easier on the computer. Let's just be honest with that. So you go into your contacts. If you scroll down here to Kelly Campaigns right here, you can see that here's my leads from the Facebook listing. Now these are also tagged within each lead under the notes section. They say the lead is received from my Park Circle ad that I sent out in March 2020. That's why you need to be hyper specific on like what you put as your title of your ad. So you can see that it says it automatically gave me the lead ad. This is this dude's phone number, supposedly. You never know, right? So call, text, email. And then what I did was I set him up on a saved search. So what I did, I created a saved search and I just did Park Circle. I did Cameron Terrace, Park Circle, North Park Circle, Oak Park Terrace, whatever, all those ones that are right there as a saved search, and did single family homes and new construction. So you can also make it around a price point, or like at least under a price point, say like, under 500 or whatever. You can do that in your saved search as well. So step 1, call. Step 2, text. Step 3, email. Step 4, add to a saved search. Step 5, add to a smart plan. The only reason I haven't added this to a smart plan just yet is because I don't have my Twilio connected. And I'm working with KW support to get that connected. So Twilio's, it'll send out automatic text messaging, and it's very, very inexpensive. And I know we're all trying to cut costs right now. So if that doesn't work for you, do not do it. But it is probably the cheapest. Like Facebook and Twilio are probably the 2 cheapest things that you can do right now to generate business. So, and then you can go in here and add the neighborhood. So probably what I'll do today is add everybody to the neighborhood smart plan. Whenever you send out a saved search, it sends it out immediately. So, or whenever you create the initial saved search, it sends it out immediately. So you'll go through, they're already going to get a saved search. So I didn't want to also send him a neighborhood snap the same day that I sent a saved search, right? Like that's a little obnoxious. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, is adding all my leads to the, or adding this guy to monthly neighborhood nurture. Actually, probably what I'll do, I would do the Facebook lead one down here, and let me know if you guys are not catching what I'm throwing here. I know I'm moving fast. The Facebook lead, I would do a long-term nurture, which automatically puts them on the monthly neighborhood nurture. And I would put them on the quarterly call plan. So that would be my route. Oh, apparently my phone thinks to talk to it.
Can I make a point?
Yep.
That I want to just expand on what you said. To add to the smart plan, you made a really good point. I didn't want him to get the save search and the smart plan all at the same time. If you click on add to smart plan and click on the monthly neighborhood nurture, you can then choose a date. Do you mind doing it? So just click on there.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Thanks, Vince.
So then add to monthly neighborhood nurture. And then you can start on a following date. So if you do this as a bulk, you can actually like select all your leads after you've added a neighborhood. And then maybe you want to start each day, or so they've given you this amazing ability to kind of put out into the future when it starts, so that just an efficiency standpoint, because I personally, I'm not as diligent as Winnie. Naturally, I wouldn't remember to go back in and do and add that particular person to a smart plan the next day. So the technology also allows you to do that if you remember to do it. Just something I wanted to add. And then
no, that's great. And so you can also bulk do it. So if you go back to see, I'm still within this Kelly campaigns. Now keep in mind, this is going to be everybody that ever came in. So then I'm personally only going to run one ad at a time, because I'm not organized enough to run more than one ad at a time, at least not yet. So at this point, I have 35 leads, right? So if you click this button right here, you can go down and it'll show everybody. Okay, so these are all my people, right? Everybody that clicked on my stuff. So I can select all of them. I did a bulk action as well, where I added a bulk tag, and I added a Facebook. I did Facebook from a listing. So I'm going to do Facebook from, so that's just how I know what this is going to be. You need to make this as clear and specific as you want it to be tagged. But now I know that all of these came from a Facebook ad where I was advertising a listing. So hopefully that makes sense. So if you click on this, then you can add all of these people to that. And you can see now here are my tags. At the same token, you can also, now I haven't added the neighborhoods in here, so that's something that I'll need to do. So let me give you an example. You'd go down here, add a neighborhood, and then for Park Circle, it's kind of a bitch, which is why I haven't done it yet, is you have to like, oh, it's actually not too bad. So I can do that. I can do Park Circle. Is why sometimes it's a little bit of a booger. So you can go on the find a map.
yeah, I'll go on to the find a map, put in the address, and then you could just select, like zoom in and then select everything around it. If that's, sometimes that, for me, that's easier sometimes, but I do the same thing that you're doing. Sometimes I play with this hoping that it's going to work better. And
yeah. So, but I'm just like still so far out to be able to like even see the neighborhood. So you would go down here. So I already have this one selected. So here, 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 and here. Then I would click save. So this is where it is time consuming and where you are going to want to make sure and like get, you know, stay on top of these, because I have to go through and do 35 of these because I didn't do that as fast as I should have. So, but let's go back to contacts. Let's assume that I have done that. I did that on every one of them, right? So I'm going to select all 35 and I can go here and I can add them to a smart plan. And so I can say, okay, well, I want to do the long-term nurture, add to smart plan. And this is kind of more what Vince was talking about. So this is what I would recommend. So start on the following date versus stagger over the next few days. So you can have, like say, not 35, maybe like, 5 people a day over the next few days. So that would be a week's worth of follow-up, 5 people a day, since I have 35 contacts in there. So does anybody have any questions about following up and stuff like that?
This is where people drop the ball, by the way. Like
Follow up.
100%. Right. This is the only way. This is where you actually procure a deal. This is where you actually find your ROI, but it's the one piece, because Command does not have the ability to set different triggers and speed the lead matters yet. I'm sorry. Thank you. Yet. Speed the lead matters at a really high level. And like, for example, I play with Trenton's Command a lot. Like, that's where I learn. And in this tool, I'll use his and set things. And I just texted him. In the time that we were sitting here, we've received 2 more leads on his listing ad, and he hasn't called the ones from yesterday yet. Right. So it's like, okay, that's fine. The tool will work, but you have to also work with the tool, and it's the follow-up piece that is the most important. And B, you mentioned like putting their Facebook profile and all that stuff in there. The Command has, or rather KWRI has gone and searched or did research as to what aspects of a contact are most essential from the standpoint of a healthy database. And if you go to like your contacts and then go to, or rather the home screen and then database health, there are 6 different pieces to the puzzle. And some of them are kind of goofy. Obviously, phone number, email, address are really important, but they also found that there's 3 other things that are really important, and it's neighborhoods, home anniversary, and birthdays. So if you continue to focus on putting those 6 things into every contact, your database will get healthier and healthier, and you'll get closer to that 10% conversion.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Vince.
Cool. That's great. So
real quick, before we get too far from that, is there a way to actually search your database for those blanks?
Yes.
how do you do that, Vince?
I think you can, if you go to, let me get out, all I see is that screen. If you go to, in your contacts, you can filter your contacts based on, say, anniversary, and then sort them.
Oh, yeah.
Opposite. You know what I mean? So like if I was to filter, I'm in trends again, but if I was to filter this database by, let me move this. Technology, I tell you. By primary address, or I'm sorry, by has neighborhood, and I could do like, yes, it just, yes or no.
Stop my share because I thought I had it on the right track. If you want to show that.
Okay, let me see. Whoops. All right, you see me?
Mm-hmm.
So if I go to, I'm in contacts and I put filters, and if I go to has neighborhood, I could click yes, or I could click no, right? So if I sort by those, now I'm going to have all of, which is pretty much probably all of his, other than the Facebook leads. But now I just sorted his database by all those individuals that don't have an address, and it's 531, right? And if I go to, you could also go to like contacts or your home screen and go to database health. Poor Trenton, I beat him up. But you could go to database health and you could see what percentage of your contacts have these particular areas. Now, I don't know if from here, this at least gives you an idea as to what you can start to work on. Like clearly there's an opportunity for him in birthdays, home anniversary, and neighborhoods. And we always talk about birthdays. You can do a smart plan around home anniversary, and nobody's reaching out to everybody and their mother is reaching out to your client about their birthday because it's easily procured information at this point, accessible information, right? So, but nobody's reaching out to them on their home anniversary. Go, Winnie.
Yeah. So one cool thing that I do is when I do open houses, I stalk them on Facebook because you're sitting there during the open house, right? When they fill out a lead, they leave and it's like alone time again. I stalk them on Facebook. I put their Facebook in, I put them on the open house smart plan. And then I know that because I talked to them, I know that they live in Park Circle already, for instance. And I can go on the tax records and I will find out where they live and I can put their address in and I can put their home anniversary date in because the tax record shows you that. So that is something, that's actually why I have I don't have a great home anniversary, but why I have any. It's actually mostly people that I don't know. Like,
hey, Vince,
in my friends.
I'm sorry, Winnie.
No, that's okay.
Vince, can you show us where to put that Facebook link?
Yeah, it's just in the contact record.
If you go into the contact record, so that I'm not showing his information, I'm going to search myself. And I'll make one more point because the way that I've learned, and Winnie the same way, we've learned this stuff because we've tried it on ourselves.
Yeah.
Like
I have 2 records.
Yeah, I send so much shit to myself from Trenton. Like I have all majority of how I'm learning is just playing in command and creating I created a contact in his command and I just send it to myself. Yeah. So in here, if I go to edit B.
I'm with you.
And then I go down here and I just click add more information. Additional contact info. Social media profiles.
Right.
So I would add their profile. Now
you would just paste that in there.
You could just paste it in. Now, is it excessive or not excessive? Is it a little bit labor intensive? And is it above and beyond? Yes. However, the more information, because there's 2 types of CRMs, right? There's a shoebox CRM and there's an intuitive CRM. The more information you put into an intuitive CRM, the more information it will give you back. So by putting this information in, you then have more data that the artificial intelligence within the CRM can utilize to give you more information back. So that's how so you put in the time up front and then you can differentiate yourself with the technology down the road. Does that make sense?
That's a good idea to put that in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So it counts for, I think Facebook profile counts or any sort of social profile counts for 4% of the database health score. Oh. So there's a sheet, I'll post it in this little, in our group that says like what each of the database scores go on. Like you can put home anniversary right there, so that's 4%. Birthday is 4%.
There's my birthday in case anybody's wondering.
Mine is Saturday.
Oh,
and it's canceled.
No.
I mean, not really canceled, but yeah. So any other questions about smart? One thing that I do think will serve you all is to check out creating a custom smart plan. We can, I feel like Vince already shared Nick Baldwin's custom smart plan, but doctor it up. Like make sure that it sounds like you. It's very text driven. Like there's no videos or like it's very like here's an email, here's a text, here's an email, here's a text. So, you know, make sure that it has like some voice and some personality, just like your ad copy does whenever you're posting these ad campaigns as well. So make sure that it has your voice in there. That's so important.
Have intention behind the follow-up. Like that follow-up, the intention of that follow-up is to take a lead, a one-way conversation to a two-way conversation.
Right.
So then when Winnie goes and puts somebody onto that smart plan, once they contact her back and now it becomes a two-way, now they just went from a lead to a contact.
And
So
now remove them from that smart plan, because now I don't need to bug them anymore with that initial smart plan, which is a attack.
And then put them on another, based on the conversation you had, put them on another smart plan, because automation is the key here. So because of efficiency and effectiveness. So then based on her conversation, maybe then she puts them on the promote my app smart plan, or then she has a conversation and puts them on the biweekly neighborhood nurture because they wanted information about X, Y, and Z. Or
The
maybe
key
she
for all
put
of
them on
this is having your database as clean and smooth and up to date as you can, man.
the health of your business is
And
determined.
that's why I'm leaving this, because now I have to go to work.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Winnie, you're a rock star.
If anybody has any specific questions, post it in that Facebook link so that we can all learn together. Thank you guys. Bye.
Good work. Love it.